Hello everyone, welcome to the Faculty Development Program on FPGA Implementation of Digital Design with Verilog HDL. Myself Chetan K, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysore. Okay, in this video, I am demonstrating the interfacing of stepper motor to FPGA using a finite state machine. The objective is simple. I have to control the rotation of the stepper motor such that the rotation should act as a controlling the robotic arm. But the condition is that I have to control the stepper motor using external switches. Based on the switch configuration, if it matches with the first condition, I have to move the stepper motor plus n step if switch number 1 of a DIP switch is closed. It means that the configuration should be 1, 0, 0. I have to utilize 3 switches. If switch number 2 is pressed, the configuration is 0, 1, 0. The stepper motor should rotate 50% of this first condition. Similarly, if the condition of the switch is 0, 0 and 1, the motor should rotate in minus n step, that is anti-clockwise direction. Let's see how we can do this with the help of finite state machine diagram. I have 3 states here, state 0, state 1 and state 2. And in state 0, I am checking whether the switch condition matches with any of this previous condition. If none of this condition is matched, I am assigning the previous switch condition as a current switch. I am not performing any operation in the state 0. Then the transition from state 0 to state 1 will happen only when either one of these conditions matches. If one of these conditions matches, then I have to decide the count value and then decide the direction. Means I am using direction 0 and 1 for clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. If the condition is 1, 0, 0, 0, then I have to choose the count value. This count value is nothing but how many degrees of count your stepper motor should rotate and in which direction your stepper motor should move. If the direction is 0, the motor will rotate in anti-clockwise rotation depending on the count value. If the direction value is 1, the count value should be given to the respective variable to rotate the motor in clockwise direction. Means we have to update this count value and direction value depending on the switch configuration. As I already explained in the earlier slide, we have 3 configuration 100, 010 and 001. Based on the switch condition, we have to update the count value and we have to update the direction value. Now, after checking all these conditions, finally I am testing one more condition that if my count value is less than the steps, say assume that I use the 200 steps here. If it is less than the step, then I have to be in state 1 to state 2. If count value becomes greater than the steps, it is completely illegal condition and then I have to move to 0, 1 and repeat the process. In this way, I wrote a Verilog code for the stepper motor interfacing based on external switches. Let's see how we can do this with the Verilog code. Every Verilog code should have a module and correspondingly we should have n module and within that we have to write the functionality. Here the module name is stepper and the input to my stepper motor module is clock, switches and output is dout. Okay, these 3 are the variable names which I am using in a terminal list. Since clock and switches are the input, we have to declare it as a input port. Since the switches are not a scalar variable because I am using 3 switches in this experiment, these 3 switches can be represented as a vector of 2, 0. And the stepper motor, we have 4 stator winding. These 4 stator windings should be energized individually in a sequential order. Therefore, we have to represent this output of the stepper motor stator winding as a vector of 3, 0. Since I am evaluating the behavior of the stepper motor, all the output variables should be stored in the variable called register. This is must in behavioral description style. The variable name which I am using here as dehout is completely a vector quantity. Same thing I am storing it in a register. And in order to evaluate the current state and next state and current state condition and the next state condition along with the pattern of sequence which we have to energize to each of this coil, I am choosing a registered data type with current state value as 00 initially, next state value as 00, and previous switch condition is 00, and the clock division is 15-bit and the pattern is 010. Okay, current state is 00. I am assuming it as a 00. Next state is also 00. Previous condition is 3-bit 00 because I am using 3 switches, and the clock division. Since I am using a 1 megahertz clock, I found that the ideal value for clock division is 15-bit decimal 0. And the pattern is 4-bit binary 0111. Okay, in addition to this, I had to rotate the stepper motor for integer count value. I am assuming this integer count value as 0. Means clock division works in terms of a counter. Based on the count value, we have to choose some appropriate counter value to work with our stepper motor. Therefore, I am choosing the initial count value as 0. And after that I am choosing the value of n as 200. Okay, this is the steps per revolution. If I use a 200 steps per revolution, then I can rotate 360 degree. If I choose 100, then it will rotate in either 90 degree or more than 90 degree like that. I am choosing a value of n as 200 because I want to rotate 360 degree clockwise, 360 degree anti-clockwise, and 50% of that is 180 degree. Therefore, I am keeping my n value as 200 and integer steps is 0 and direction value I am initially assuming it as a 0. Okay, these are the main variables which I use at the body of my Verilog code. Now this part is completely a clock division which works in terms of counter. Every time I have to perform clock division equal to clock division plus 1, and after this I am checking for my actual functionality. Always at positive edge of clock div. This is the required clock frequency to work with our stepper motor. Irrespective of any condition of the switches, I am assigning the next state as a current state. Okay, I repeat again, always at positive edge of clock division of 10. That is, this is the clock frequency required to work with a stepper motor. I am assigning the next state to the current state. The next state is assigned to a current state, and again at positive edge of the clock I am processing the case statement. Okay, here my condition is check the current state. If the current state is 00, okay, I am checking that whether the switch condition matches with any of my objective. If the switch condition doesn't matches with my condition, my next state is always 00. Means I have to loop around in the state 0 itself. I should not move to the next state because the switch condition may not matches with my target objective. Suppose if switch condition matches with my previous condition, I have to move to else state. In the else state, my next state is 01. Okay, in the 01 state, what is the current state of the switch? I am storing it in a previous switch condition. Okay, here I am testing for whether the switch condition matches with my objective. If it doesn't matches with the objective, it has to loop around state 0. Hence no transition here. If it matches with my switch condition, then I have to move to the next state. In the next state, I had to monitor the switch condition and store the switches to previous switch condition. Okay, now we have to move to the second statement. In the case, I have to check for whether my current state is 0, 1. If current state is 0, 1, initially you turn off the motor and check for the 3 condition. If switch is equal to 3-bit binary 100 means if switch number 1 is closed, switch number 2 is open and switch number 2 is 3 is 0, I had to decide the direction. If direction is 1, you had to rotate the motor in clockwise degree and the steps would be n, means completely 360 degree clockwise direction, and assign the next state. If it is completely done, the next state is always 2-bit binary 10. Else, again I am testing the condition. If my switch pattern matches with 0, 1, 0, my direction is again a clockwise, but the motor should rotate in 50% of my count value. Since I had chosen n value as 200, I had to rotate the stepper motor 50% of the n. Okay, again in else if statement I am checking one more condition, 3-bit binary 001. Here I am making the direction value as 0. Since the direction value is 0 and step value had chosen it as 200, I had to rotate the stepper motor in anti-clockwise 360 degree rotation. If none of these conditions are matched, again I am going back to state 00. Okay, you can observe that I wrote 3 cases here based on 3 switch patterns as explained in the objective of the experiment. Now, in 2-bit binary 10 case statement, here I am processing the direction value. Initially, I had chosen the direction value pattern value as 0111. I had to perform left shift and right shift of that particular bit position to energize each of this coil. If direction value is 0, I am doing right shift operation. If direction value is 1, I am doing a left shift operation. Okay. In the case 2-bit 01, I am testing for switch condition. I am performing some action, but in a case statement 2-bit binary 10, I am checking for the direction value. If direction value is 0, perform some operation by performing left shift or right shift. If it is 1, perform left shift operation. After performing this switch condition and direction decision, the left shifted pattern and right shifted pattern, I am sending it to output channels of my stepper motor module. Since I have 4 stator windings, I am energizing each of these pattern in the coil to perform some action based on my switch variable. Then after that I am incrementing the count value. I am finally using this if loop to come back to my initial state 0. I am checking the condition. If count is less than the steps, next state is 2-bit binary 10. Otherwise, it has to come back to 2-bit binary 00. Means I had to be in a state of left shifting and right shifting operation based on the step value. If it is not matching, then I have to return back to the next state 2-bit binary 00. That's all about the stepper motor experiment.
Experimental setup to interface our stepper motor with FPGA. Okay, the device name is Spartan 3 XC3S50 PQ208 and -5. Okay, and you can observe that we have 2 boards in the kit. This bottom one is the main board and the top one is called daughter board. In order to overcome the damage directly to the pin, we are using a daughter board instead of a single Spartan 3 FPGA. And to interface the stepper motor to FPGA, we have to use a 5 volt DC, and 5 volt DC is connected to power supply pins of a stepper motor module, and the stepper motor is connected to the pins directly in the module. Okay, in this stepper motor module we are using a driver IC in order to drive the required current to rotate the stepper motor smoothly. As per the main objective of the experiment, we have to use 3 toggle switches. I am using first 3 toggle switches, that is switch 1, switch 2 and switch 3, and in the code I had chosen 200 steps. Since we are using 200 steps per revolution stepper motor, I am using 200 steps in the coding to rotate my stepper motor 360-degree clockwise. Okay. Just invoke Xilinx ISE tool. So once you open the Xilinx ISE tool, go to File menu, select New Project. Okay, you get a window called New Project Wizard window. Here you have to set your path, and along with that you have to give the project name. Here I am giving the project name as stepper underscore motor and press next button. Okay, now you will get a window called New Project Wizard window. Now here you have to select which required FPGA you have to program. Okay, since I am using a Spartan 3 FPGA in our laboratory, I have to select Spartan 3 as a family. The device name is XC3S50. XC3S50 is the part number for Spartan 3 and package is CQ208. In CQ208 is nothing but totally we have 208 pins in my Spartan 3 FPGA, and this Spartan 3 FPGA works with the speed of -5. Okay, and after selecting the required FPGA part number and package and device details, we have to select the preferred language. Okay, as per the video curriculum, we have to code in Verilog. We have to select Verilog as a preferred language. Okay, then press next button, next, and finish. Okay, once you press the finish button, make sure that the source window contains a required part number that we have selected in the project wizard window, that is XC3S50-5 CQ208. Okay, now our first objective is to open the editor window. To open the editor window, we have to select the empty text file, press OK. I am pasting my code into my editor window. Okay, after pasting, we have to save the file using .v extension. Okay, I am giving the file name as step.v. Step.v as my file name. Press save. Okay, once you press the save button, make sure that all the reserved words in the Verilog code should be highlighted in the blue color, and remaining bit representation and along with the numeric representation in the code should be highlighted in the black color. Okay, after saving the file, we have to add the source file to our source group. Means right click, add on the source group, select your required file. My file is step.v, open and press OK. Okay, now my source code is available in my project. Okay, the next step is to check the syntax for any syntactical error. Double click on check syntax under synthesize FXT option. Okay, once the check syntax is successfully completed, we have to perform assigning pins to FPGA. Since I am using stepper motor module, if I connect the stepper motor to that module, those pins are connected randomly to the FPGA. We have to assign pin numbers using an option called floor plan IO pre-synthesis. Select second option under user constraint. Okay, once you double click on floor plan IO, you will get a new tool called Xilinx Space. Okay, this tool gives information about what are the variables that we have used in our code and which are the pin numbers we have to assign to that particular variable. Okay, here I am assigning P76 to a clock variable, P172 to D out of 0, C171 to D out of 1, C169 to D out of 2. Means D out 0, 1, 2, 3 are nothing but the stator windings of a stepper motor. Okay, as per the objective, we have to control our stepper motor using switches. Switch 0, 1, 2 and 3 are connected to P21, P27 and P29. Once we complete this step, you can observe that in the right side, all the pin numbers are highlighted with a blue color. Means you can observe that all the pins are not sequential. Means pin number 1, 2 and 3 are not in the order. It are connected in a random fashion. Okay. After this, press save and press OK button. Then close your Xilinx page. Okay, now so far we have assigned a pin to our FPGA. Now we have to perform an important operation called translate, map, place and route. Okay, let us do it individually. The translate is being recorded. And second step, map, double click on it. And third option, place and route. Double click on that. Okay. Now you can observe that each and every step is successfully completed. The next step is to generate programming file. Double click on generate programming file. Okay. Next option is configure target device. Press OK. You will get an important window called impact window. You have to select the bit file. Okay, now you have to select the bit file by pressing the bypass button. Select C.bit because my module name is C. Press OK. Select FPGA XC3S50. Apply, close. Okay, now right click on the device and program. Now program is successfully completed. Okay, these are the steps we have to perform in the Xilinx ISE tool to download our return code, to generate bit file and downloading that bit file to ROM of the FPGA. That's all. Thank you. You can observe that if switch number 1 is used, motor is rotating in 360 degree clockwise. If I use the second switch, motor is rotating anti-clockwise 50% of the 200 step, that is 180 degree. If I use third switch, motor is rotating in anti-clockwise 360 degree rotation. Therefore, I would like to conclude that if I use switch number 1, motor is rotating in clockwise rotation 360 degree. If I use switch 2, motor is rotating in anti-clockwise direction 180 degree. If I use third switch, motor is rotating anti-clockwise minus 360 degree rotation. That's all about this experiment. Thank you.